Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. It's Rad, and in this video you can watch the forecast for your star sign for the week August 11th to August 17th, 2025. This reading is for Scorpio Sun, Scorpio Moon, and as well Scorpio Rising. And if it happens that you are born under the Scorpio sign like I am, then that reading is going to show us the events that this week is going to face us with, like situations that we're going to be involved in, opportunities, difficulties, people, if we are to face any new people or someone that we already know will become more significant to us, and so on and so forth. If your moon is in Scorpio, then that reading is going to show whether you're going to like or hate those things, or whether what the events throughout the week, what kind of emotions they are going to evoke in you. And if your rising sign is Scorpio, then you can take that reading as a guidance, meaning what is going to be the best way to pretty much handle your stuff around. And so listening to all three of your major signs should give you a pretty good idea what kind of a week you're going to have ahead. Now, the first card for Scorpio, that will be Queen of Wands, followed by the second card, which is Page of Wands. Third one for us, that will be Eight of Cups. And the final card for a Scorpio, that will be Queen of Pentacles. So, without a doubt, at least according to these cards, we have a pretty important week on our hand, a week which involves us getting along in general, but not necessarily with people, getting along with expectations, getting along with what people need, what a project needs, what a situation needs, and that is described by the Queen of Wands, so which stands for the environment and the topic of the week. So a few things here are going to be important throughout the week. First, our sense of what people need and what a certain project needs is going to sharpen. It is the best way how I can describe it here. And out of nowhere, or slowly, progressively, we're going to start realizing those needs. And that will give us a very deep understanding into the human nature, not just only into the human nature, but also the nature of the opportunity, or the nature of the issue, or the nature, of of the predicament, the nature of the challenge, and so on and so forth. And that way we will be able to play in such a way, or to perform in such a way, that we are going to find ourselves almost on the winning side. And to top it all off, the Queen of Wands as a influence, as an energy, boosts thy will to prevail, no matter what. It boosts it to prevail. And usually people who are operating under the energy of the Queen of Wands, even though their station may not be high, they happen to be just, leaders. It's their approach, what they think, how they dress, their composure, their not status, but more like a presence, is just indomitable. It's something that cannot be overlooked. And that's why we are going to happen to be very attractive, not just only physically, okay, but also in any kind of way. Attractive to make business with, attractive to date, attractive to talk with, attractive to invest in, and so on and so forth. And we need to use that energy or that influence to its fullest. And I do believe that this is a more of a business influence. I like to present ourselves, if you are working like me for an audience, to present ourselves in the most desirable light possible, or to present yourself as the most capable person possible for the current undertaking, and so on and so forth. But that is just my take on the week. You can have your own take, like most desirable for love, most desirable for accommodation, most desirable for a tenant, and it's just the possibilities here are endless with the Queen of Wands. But whatever the case, we're just gonna have that knack of sense how to make people not just only work with us, but also to be happy with us. You want to know how a specific situation that you are involved in is going to result, or maybe an undertaking that you are currently pushing through is going to develop, how to solve a problem that you are facing, or whether something is going to happen to you that you are waiting and when this is going to happen. Well, for all that, you can go for a personal reading with me that you can purchase from my website, which link you can find in the description down below, or you are seeing it as well right now on your screens. Now, with that said, let's jump right away to your forecast. And there is going to be that one, which is a page of wands. I'm going to draw one more card for the page of wands, which happens to be Seven of Pentacles. Personally, I do hate that type of people. So these are, I can't really say tricksters. I can't find the correct English word for them. Users, maybe that is the literal translation from my native language. These are people who want to invest as little as possible, if invest anything, like emotions, like time, you know, like money, and get as much as they can. So these are, for the lack of better word here, leeches. And the worst of all that is that they don't have any particular interest with us. It's just we happen to be somewhat of a contingency for them, somewhat of an opportunity that may prove itself to be fruitful, not for now, but maybe for the future. And they just latch to us, or try to latch to us, suck from, you know, our growth, our gain, without having to put anything in return in it, without investing any money, for example, or without investing any time. And with the page of wands, it's like, I don't know how to put it really into words, but their entitlement is very, very strange, because they will be most of the time quote unquote insulted by our behavior, kind of insulted. Why haven't we involved them into one situation or another? Why haven't we introduced them to one person or another? Okay, why we don't really have to do that, all right? It's just they are a negligible, at best, a part of our undertakings, at least throughout that week. But they will find every single opportunity to just shove it in our face, that we could have done that. We could have introduced them. It wouldn't hurt us in any way, but it would hurt us in the long run, because they will, the very least, steal a small portion of the opportunities we are going to create for us going through the week. So as much as, you know, most of the people don't like to hear that, this is a week where we are going to work very, very hard to get along with, you know, our undertakings, and as well the people that are surrounding us, the people that we can actually work with and have some gains from. And there is going to be that one which will want to steal some from us, and we shouldn't allow that to happen. So the best way how we can handle that person is to just tell them to go out into the world and search for their own opportunities and for their own growth. Now, what is going to help us throughout the week? That is a Eight of Cups. And for the most part, this week is going to face us with not overwhelming, but rather underwhelming. Well, the odds are going to be a bit overwhelming, which means that the circumstances are going to be a bit underwhelming. What I'm trying to say here is that not in a single situation, or not in a single project, or nor in a single interaction, we're going to find the circumstances ideal, perfect. You know, we may end up having someone to like us and to really get along with them, and, you know, estimate that if we can date, this is going to be a super good relationship, having no issue whatsoever. But that person happens to be on a business trip for 2 months, right? So unfavorable circumstances, and there is nothing we can do about that. Or same thing about a job, we end up having been interviewed for a really good job that perfectly fits us, the payment is well, the opportunity that presents or something that we have, say, ever wanted. They find us the right person for the job, but the contract for the one that it is already taking the place ends up in, say, 3 months. So we will have to wait that time because they cannot just lay them off without suffering severe consequences from it, like, for example, lawsuit. So that speaks that, yeah, the certain circumstances are not going to be ideal, but we are going to have a promise that the future holds a 100 times better perspective than the perspective we are facing right now with the current circumstances. And by the end of the week, with the Queen of Pentacles wrapping it up here, we will be able to pretty much close the deal, secure the endeavor, secure the relationship, ensure the job, okay? And the initial contract, for the lack of better word here, because it could be a verbal promise or a written contract, the initial contract is going to be very pleasant for us. It will suit us, you know, at this stage to 100%. But it is open for revision, and this revision, it is something we in the future are going to open it up with, and that revision that we are going to do will fulfill a possibilities that we haven't explored at that stage, because again, the current circumstances was not as ideal as they could have been, and therefore we haven't, you know, thought of those markers, we haven't thought of those possibilities, but we are going to. And again, the whole subject is going to be open for a renegotiations. So with that said, it's a week where we should kind of like work with what we have. We are gonna make the best out of it, even more than that. And there is a certainty here of prevailing, unless we do not cave with our goodwill, or rather like a good nature, to a leech that is gonna try to steal some of the good fortune we are gonna earn for ourselves throughout the week. This was your reading, and if you find it helpful and you liked it, you can subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, leave a like, comment on the video as well if you feel the need to do so, or if you think that this reading can help someone you know, then you can share it with them as well. With all that said, hopefully we're going to see each other next time, and until then, bye!